So a couple of weeks ago, we had the Streamer Awards, and I actually already made a video that has to do with that. It was me defending Phase Adapt from some dumb shit that Krishan Rock said, and it's Krishan Rock. So she was the one that prompted me to make that video. But this video was actually centered around Cenat, and when he won Best Collab of the Year, I believe was the name of the category that he won. He won for his collab with LeBron James. He went up on the stage to give a speech, and this is how his speech went.
I appreciate everybody who decided to vote for me for this award. One thing I wanted to say to you guys tonight is I hope a lot of creators in here and everybody at home and the viewers and the streamers really take care of your mental health. I just noticed that recently I just been going through things in my head, and I was able to, turn to anime, Death Note, Naruto, recently since I've been gone, and I just been able to, find happiness within that. But yeah, as for the word of collab, I want to preach to everybody, within our community, us collabing is everything. You feel what I'm saying? So collaboration is everything. And I know this year has been very difficult on the fan bases, the communities, and of streaming in general. And as long as we don't tear each other apart and let that get in between us, we're gonna be just fine. So I appreciate y'all.
So I didn't watch the Streamer Awards live when it was happening. I just saw the clips afterwards, and when I saw this one, it actually made me feel really good. I'm one of those people that definitely believes in mental health and trying to make sure that you're good and that you're not going through shit, because everybody goes through shit. I always try to talk to people. I always try to connect with my friends and try to get them to talk to me if they really feel comfortable with it, because I would rather be there for people, because you never know what somebody's going through. So for a streamer as big as him to even speak about mental health and just kind of bring awareness to it, or what, I just think it's something that people really need to consider, and just take care of yourself, try to make sure that you're good. After this whole thing, not that long ago, Kai did post another clip where he did speak about his own mental health, and this is what he had to say.
Hello everybody, I'm currently on my laptop right now, and I appreciate everybody who's been sending me birthday wishes, as today is my birthday. So I felt like it was the perfect day to be transparent and honest with you guys. A few days ago, I spread awareness on mental health and how important it is to take care of yourself. And honestly, for the past few months, I've been struggling with mental health out of self-doubt and fright of pursuing goals that I really want to achieve. And the reason I've really been in my head is because I just wanted to do more. I've gained to realize that I'm a true creator, and I'm very passionate about creating. And I have other goals and things that I just want to achieve and do more of, and I would love to show you guys what I've been working on for the past few months through my more personal page, which is KC3 Hidden. I am going to go private soon on that page, so whoever gets in, but I just want to let you guys know that sometimes it is important to take care of your mental health, and honestly, it's been getting better. It has, but out of frustration and fear, I just been in my head for some reason. I never had this feeling before, but I want it to be known that I truly want to create. And I don't know if I'm getting mature or I'm just looking things at a broad point of view, but I am so passionate about creating in general, and I'm excited to show you guys what's going on.
And once again, with this video, it's one of those things where it's, I don't see anything wrong with this. Pretty much almost anybody in the world goes through shit, and some people are really good at hiding it. It's something that it comes easy for some people to hide, and some people it's little more easy to show. But this is why I say that you should always check up on people and make sure that they're good. Despite Kai just dropping a video like this where he's trying to spread awareness to mental health and trying to speak on his own problems, when you're as big as somebody like Kai, there's always going to be somebody that, or not just somebody, but multiple amounts of people that are going to just come in hating for seemingly no reason, and that's what this guy has to say.
Maybe I'm not rich enough to understand why Cenat is struggling with his mental health. Maybe I'm just not in the same echelon as him, and I don't get how a multi-millionaire who gets money from his fans off of subscribers, who just made $5 million off of Mafiathon 3, is struggling with mental health. Maybe I just don't understand what the is going on. Maybe I'm stupid. Or maybe this is looking for sympathy for y'all. He hopped on this app and told us he's been struggling to achieve these goals he wants to achieve. All he wants to do is create and just keep creating. Nigga, you didn't create that school yet. You took all this money from all these people and you didn't even make the school. You gonna hop on here talking about some, I just want to create. I just want to create. I've been struggling with my mental health. It's been holding me down. It's been holding me back. And now I got some shit I'm working on that I want to show y'all. It better be that school. I swear on everything, if it's not that school, bro, all y'all motherfuckers supporting this kid, bro, you have to stop. You literally have to look at this from a different lens and think for 1 second. This nigga is taking money from his fans and then tells you he's struggling with his mental health. You know how many niggas probably subscribe to him right now that's struggling with their mental health? I hate this nigga so much, bro. Like, I didn't have no reason to hate this nigga before. I used to f with Kai. But this is crazy as f, dude. And y'all are defending him. Y'all are like, yo, Kai, we hope you feel better, bro. We're here for you. Nigga, he ain't here for y'all.
The first thing that I want to like address when it came to that whole video of, you know, this guy just chatting shit is the whole school thing. That I can't really speak too much about that. I know that Kai did a while ago. He talked about how he wanted to build a school in Nigeria. I believe it's where he wanted to do it. I know that he addressed it during Mafiathon 3 because a lot of people were, you know, like, this guy, where the hell is the school? Like, what's going on with that? But I still don't know too much about that whole situation, so I can't really talk. I just hope that he doesn't turn out like Dr. Umar and, you know, it takes like 10 years and just nothing happens. I mean, that guy's literally been asking like black people for, you know, money through Cash App for this supposed school for the last 10 years, and I mean, nothing's come out of it. So I hope Kai doesn't go down that same path. But onto the topic of, you know, the guy basically saying how is it that Kai has these like mental health struggles when he has so much money that he makes off of his fans and off of subscribers. I don't think that having a ton of money changes how you may feel in your mind, and it doesn't, I don't think it changes your mental health like whatsoever. Now, obviously, I'm not one to talk. I'm not a rich person like whatsoever, like at all. You know, actually, like me and my parents, the way that I grew up is me and my parents never had too much money. You know, we just kind of work for what we got, and that's just kind of how it is. But we've seen celebrities time and time again go through their own little like crash outs and shit. For, you know, I'll give you an example. Justin Bieber, he's the one person that if you look, you know, like through some of his videos and just things that he does now, there are like times where people just think that the dude is crazy, but I'm sure that he deals with his own mental health, especially being in the spotlight for so long and since a kid. And it's kind of the same thing with Kai. Like, Kai has all these eyes on him, and a lot of the times it feels like he can't do no right. Like, I don't think Kai necessarily does anything wrong, and you could say that I'm like glazing, but I've never been the biggest fan of Kai. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I fucking love Kai Cenat, like I'm a huge fan of his, because that's never really been the case. I have no problem with Kai, I've just never been a frequent viewer of his. Like, there's definitely times where he'll post stuff or like something happens with him that will come up in conversation between me and my friends, because we'd be like, yo, did you see what Kai did? Did you see that whole thing? But I've never been like a huge fan of his. I fuck with AMP heavy. I've been a really big fan of AMP, but with AMP, I was always more of a fan of Agent, right? Like, Agent was always the one that I really went to, or like Duke. And I think the reason why is just because they're a lot more chill, a lot more calmer. And I'm sure you guys have heard this before, that people have said that like Kai's content is for kids, and he came out and he said like, no, his content is not for kids. And I do agree that I don't think his content is for kids, but just because of the way he does his content and how he acts, it definitely brings more kids to him, or like, you know, a younger audience, because he's a very energetic and loud person. And I'm not really like a loud person myself, and so I obviously gravitate more towards like more quieter people, and that's why Kai's content was never for me, just because sometimes he just seems to be like way too loud, you know. So yeah, I've never been like the biggest fan of Kai, but I just feel the need to defend him here, because it's like, I don't understand what's so wrong about him coming online to share, you know, how he's been dealing with his mental health, and him just expressing how, you know, like, he's never felt this way before, you know. And some people haven't. There are people who genuinely don't think that mental health or like mental illnesses are like a real thing, which is crazy to me. Like, and to be honest, it's usually like guys, which is so crazy to me. And this is just my opinion, but like a man who completely dismisses mental health, and if they, you know, there are some men that like, if another guy is going through their own mental health issues, they view them as like sensitive or like just, you know, weak. I think that men who look at other people and don't acknowledge that mental health is a real thing are actually fucking weak. Like, dude, how, like, dude, don't undermine other people's struggles, you know, especially like, you don't know what people got going on behind the scenes. You don't know what people deal with in their head. And with the whole thing about Kai talking about like how he has these big ideas and whatnot, I think I feel like what he means is like, you know, for a content creator that's that big, I feel like once you reach like the top, you want to stay at the top, and you want to keep trying to like, you know, you want to keep trying to do better and do bigger things, like bigger and better things, right? To keep feeding your audience. And I can understand how it may be difficult to keep trying to top everything that you want to do. And in your head, you could probably get in your own head and, you know, like start doubting yourself, you know, like, are you ever gonna, you know, top what you're doing now? Is your content gonna get better than this? So I can see why he may be feeling that way, but there's probably like other shit too. I know that's definitely not the only reason why. But yeah, with that whole thing, just to end it off, I want to say, look, if you guys are going through your own mental health struggles, I highly suggest that you try to talk to somebody about it. And, you know, if you have friends that you feel are going through shit, reach out to them. Because sometimes, like, they might not want to talk to you, but at least it's good for them to know that they have somebody to talk to. I am, like, a person who always loves to check up on my friends, because I feel like I'm a very empathetic person, you know? I don't lack empathy at all, you know? And so I always want to make sure that everybody's good around me. I don't want people to go through shit alone. I want the people around me to know that they have somebody that they can talk to if they ever feel the need to. And if they feel like they have nobody, they can always come to me. You know, I don't ever want to get to a point where like a friend of mine or somebody that I love feels like they're so alone in this world that they might do something that they may regret. You know, I never wanted to get to that point. And so that's why I think that really taking care of your mental health is a very important thing, dude. And don't, you know, like, just be good to each other, bro. Like, that's really what it is. And I understand, like, I've made videos where I've like criticizing other people and shit and saying dumb shit, and I get that. But like, at the end of the day, you know, for a lot of those shits, I don't mean anything like bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just for content in some ways, except for the Chris Sean Rock shit, because it's fucking Chris Sean Rock, you feel me? But nah, for real though, yo, if any of y'all are going through shit, reach out to people or try to be there for others, for real, because you never know what other people are going through. And, you know, with that, that's really the end of the video. I hope you guys have a great day. You know, I hope y'all are doing good. You know, God bless y'all. Peace.